So today's topic is, does exposure help with overcoming social anxiety? Now what this means is, does exposing yourself to social situations that aggravate your anxiety help with overcoming social anxiety? The short answer is yes, but only if it's done right. Otherwise, it can make your social anxiety a lot worse. So what do I mean by this and how can you do it right? I'll answer all of that in today's video, but before I jump right in, let me introduce myself for those who are new here. My name is Asha, and I work with introverted professionals and I help them overcome social anxiety so that they can stop people-pleasing, confidently express themselves, and find their natural assertiveness. Alright. So exposing yourself to social situations that scare you is a great way to overcome social anxiety, because what this does is it lets your mind know that there's nothing really to be afraid of. However, a lot of people end up doing it alone, and the problem with that is they either find that their social anxiety gets worse or it doesn't make much of a difference. So the reason for that is exposure has to be coupled with self-work beforehand, as well as building the right systems in place so that you know how to handle and process the information afterwards, as well as knowing how to act during the social situation. So what do I mean by this? Well, for the self-work, it's very important that you know what your cognitive distortions are, you know where your thoughts naturally go to, so that when you're experiencing those social events, you're able to catch yourself when you are giving in to any negative thought patterns. On top of that, it also helps you figure out what specific social situations you should put yourself in, because sometimes we end up putting ourselves in social situations that don't really scare us, don't really challenge us, and we don't see much growth. So that's for the self-work, understanding how you think and how to catch yourself in the moment, as well as figuring out the right social situations you need to put yourself in. The next one is learning how to build the right systems on how to process the information after it happens, because as people who struggle with social anxiety, we have a really bad habit of ruminating over the situation and somehow making problems come out of thin air. So we might feel great after the social situation, but as days goes by, we end up thinking more and more about it, and we start nitpicking on the little things that we did, and suddenly it becomes a completely negative situation when it really wasn't negative at all. So building the system so you know how to properly process the situation after it happens. And lastly is knowing how to set up the situation itself. Now I'm a big culprit of this one, where I did not practice beforehand, and so what happened was, during the social situation, I would end up using my phone and use a lot of what we call safety-seeking behaviors. Looking at the floor, looking at your phone, always frequently go into the restroom to take a break. All of these behaviors, even though they feel good in the moment, it makes you feel safe, they actually worsen your anxiety, because what you're telling your mind is that you need these things to be able to get through the interaction. So making sure you figure out what your safety-seeking behaviors are and make sure to not do them. Now lastly, apart from safety-seeking behaviors, you need to make sure that you never leave the social situation halfway. What this does is it tells your mind that yes, it's a terrifying situation and you have to leave halfway. So compare that to not even doing the social situation at all. It is much better if you just did not go at all compared to going and then leaving halfway. So all these nuances end up creating a huge difference in the impact social exposure has on you. So as you can see, it's not simply just doing the things that you're afraid of. It requires a lot of preparation beforehand and making sure you set up the situation right. Alright guys, I hope this video has been useful for you guys, and as per usual, if any one of you would like to work one-on-one with me to overcome your social anxiety ASAP so that you can confidently express yourself and find your natural assertiveness, feel free to book a strategy call with me. The link is in the description. I'll talk to you guys soon.